Hi, class. We've already talked a little bit about positivism, which treats social facts as existing independently of the activities of the participants and the researchers. That's largely where a social scientist would use quantitative reasoning. By contrast, a qualitative researcher would study how phenomena are experienced, or as we said before, a research model which looks at a subject's world on their own terms and asks what's going on. That's naturalism. Or constructionism, how social realities are produced and assembled and maintained. How they are constructed in everyday life. Constructivism. This chapter talks about how theories get used and the terminology that goes with that use. So there are all different theoretical research models, key term, that provide an overall framework for viewing reality. These models inform the concepts we use to define our research problem. The book mentions that to constructionists, inner lives and social worlds are epiphenomenal to the constructive practices of everyday life. And we need to know what an epiphenomena is. According to Merriam-Webster, an epiphenomena is a secondary phenomena accompanying another and caused by it. So, when inner lives and social worlds are epiphenomenal to the constructive practices of everyday life, inner lives and social worlds are a secondary phenomena accompanying everyday life and caused by everyday life. We should be very confused now, but it's a great word, so just say epiphenomena. Many kinds of qualitative research use constructionist theories. Grounded theory, for example, third key term. You induce your hypothesis from close data analysis. This is a theory which involves 3 stages. There's an initial attempt to develop categories that illuminate the data you found, and an attempt to saturate those categories with many appropriate cases in order to demonstrate their relevance. And then the attempt to develop these categories into a more general analytic framework with a relevance outside the setting. So grounded theory, you start in the data and you get your hypothesis from close data analysis. Narrative analysis, and this all gets so confusing, so just notice definitions, is the study of the organization of stories, the beginning, the middle, the end, the plots, the characters, that makes stories meaningful or coherent in a form appropriate to the needs of a particular occasion. That's really similar to conversation analysis that you were quizzed on before, but take a look back at that quiz and compare it to the narrative analysis definition I just gave you. Then there's a third thing, and we're in qualitative data analysis, so I have to tell you about this stuff. It's confusing. Discourse analysis, also similar to conversation analysis, which we've discussed before, which is the study of the way versions of the world, of society, events, and inner psychological worlds are produced in discourse. As mentioned, this chapter also discusses models and concepts. Concepts are clearly specified ideas deriving from a particular model. Theories, well, you've already been quizzed on this, so you won't have to fill in a blank with this word. I won't put it on a quiz. Again, Howard Becker said his colleague, Bernard Beck, told students who wanted to make a theory, "Tell me what you found out, but without using any of the identifying characteristics of the actual case." That's a theory. The textbook says this key term arranges sets of concepts to define and explain some phenomena. But you won't be quizzed on it. It's a cool idea, though, to figure out what the theory is. Tell me what you found out, but without using any of the identifying characteristics of the actual case. Huh, kind of cool idea. Hypothesis. Unlike the key term above, hypotheses are tested in research. A hypothesis is a testable proposition often based on an educated guess. Methodologies define how we will go about studying any phenomena. They can be defined broadly, like a quantitative methodology or qualitative methodology, or they can be defined narrowly, grounded theory or narrative analysis, for example. It's not that they're true or false, it's just whether a methodology is useful or it's not useful. Likewise, methods, different from methodology, specific research techniques. Again, it's not about whether they're true or false. Either a method is useful or it's not useful. And that's the end of your key terms for this chapter. Thank you.